We will now take public comment from Ms. Champion. Please go ahead with your comments.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Okay, well, let's start with unintended consequences. I would say that dying, baking to death in your home is a pretty big unintended consequence. To Ruco, where the heck has Ruco been? Where has this commission been? I have been telling this commission and Ruco since before the news of Stephanie Pullman's death breaking that people were dying in their homes. I have now been saying it for years. In 2018, I worked on a bill for statewide legislation. It didn't go anywhere. This isn't anything new, and tied to the cost associated around that too. Again, where has Ruco been? This has been going on now for 2 years, 2+ years. This commission has not responded to an entire records request that I made in early March tied to the disconnect rules. It wasn't Ruco or this commission who found that staff had removed shutoff data, who had found that people had died in their homes. We now have deaths directly tied to disconnects that happened in May when it was 95 degrees. There are deaths that have happened in May indoors at 92 degrees. If you think that the one that was just reported on by Channel 15 is the only one that has occurred, you are wrong. I will also tell you, because I have records requested the medical examiner investigator notes, that in those investigator notes, which I will state are preliminary, they list APS as the company who disconnected the man who died on May 11th on a day that was 95 degrees. This is a life or death situation. And whether or not, I expect Perg to jump in and talk about deaths due to disconnect, here's the bottom line. And this is this rule, right? The bottom line is that people need AC in their homes or they die. I am currently in the front yard of your building right now planting 500 red flags that give the visualization of all of the people in Maricopa County who have died indoors from 2010 to 2020. These were all preventable deaths. This rule should be based on data-driven policy to protect human life. People should not bake to death indoors. I shouldn't have to, this should be 3 flags, not 500. It's wrong. And 95 degrees is still high. You should not allow the utilities to do a choose your own how you want to kill your customer adventure. Like, you are the rule-making body. Make the rule. Make the utilities stick to it. And the main goal of this rule should be to make sure that people do not bake to death in their houses so that they're found by a family member or somebody doing a wellness check 2 days later decomposing. Like, that is an unintended consequence. That should be the most important unintended consequence. All of the data shows that the cost associated with such a thing is minimal. It is pennies. It is pennies to make sure that people stay alive. I'm sure that if APS would stop advertising or spending money on politicians, like that could fix every single person's AC in the state. Probably. Like, it is your job to regulate the utility monopolies and make sure that they don't kill people. Like, that is your job. Like this is insane to me. And for Ruco to jump out, you know, fourth quarter and be talking about cost is disgusting. They've had 2 years to look into it. Where the hell have they been? So if this means setting this back, because there are more deaths, and I will expose them. I guarantee you, I will expose them. I know they're there. I know it was below 95 degrees. 95 degrees is too high. If that means this rule gets kicked back, just like the clean energy rules, to make it actually substantial and worthwhile, then so be it. So that's all I have to say for right now. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Champion. Staff, do you have a response?